I wanted to ask you. So, how how much has your life changed the last 4 to 6 months? You were always involved in boxing, always involved with big fighters like you mentioned, Casamayor, Lara, Robert Guerrero. But I feel like now you're the guy. You have a stable. You have two world champions. One of them an interim champion. Another one in Mini Pac-Man Rosa, who's a regular, the WBA regular champion. He's going to fight for the Super Championship sometime this year. How much has your life changed the last 4 to 6 months?
It's funny. I always said this, and I've always told my fighters this: man has plans, God's the master planner. And the timing just worked out perfectly. Like I said, I ran an amateur program. I was involved in the PAL amateur program many years ago. I paid my dues. I worked with Hector Lazarago, who only had 25 amateur fights, was a world champion. I've been in this sport a long time, helping with the game planning, doing a lot of the dirty, gritty work behind the scenes. And I've been blessed to do that because that's what's enabled me to be prepared for the moment now, to have went through all that, to have been, training at Wild Card and watching Freddie Roach, and to have been under Emmanuel Stewart with Jose Salaya, that I worked with, who's a 2000 Olympian, got to #1 in the world. And so all those things have culminated for this moment. And it's funny, and it all happened. It's kind of funny in a sense that here you have Dominican boxing, all this talent that's never really been brought to the light. And here you had me, who had a lot of knowledge, who was never brought to the light. And it took the Dominican Republic and that country and me to come to culminate. And it's a strange fate if you think about it. It's like man has plans and God's the master planner.
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned that. It's I kind of feel the same way you do, obviously in a different realm. You're obviously in touch with the fighters as far as training them and stuff like that. But when I first started doing this, what I do now, I started off just talking all boxing, Fury, Canelo. I mean, and I still do to some degree, but I try to focus mostly on Dominican boxing. And so I have a lot of connections with Dominican boxers, as you know, obviously. And so I was just interviewing them, not because I was trying to only interview them. It was more so kind of like, these are the people I had connections to. These are the people I had access to. And I just kind of kept interviewing. And one of my friends calls me the voice of Dominican boxing. He makes a picture, a meme of me. He's doing it all in fun, right? I take it and run with it. And all of a sudden, Dominicans just keep winning and winning. And every single time a Dominican wins, my Twitter blows up, my Instagram blows up. I gain a bunch of subscribers. And I'm like, this is almost like a perfect storm. It almost feels like it kind of just landed on me. But then when I look, I'm like, this is almost too perfect for it to be an accident. It's kind of like I've studied this whole way. And now where I feel like I'm prepared, I got this opportunity and I have connections to this country that's producing nothing but good fighters. And it's like, it's almost like a perfect storm, kind of like what you're experiencing from a trainer's perspective. I'm experiencing from a journalistic perspective.